to around $4.1 to $4.2 per unit from October 1. Nayantara Rai now joins us with all the details. So, Nayantara, what are the details, and what is the key formula? What are the key reasons that we'll see this decline in gas prices?
Hi, Anuj. So, like you correctly pointed out, we expect to see a sharp fall in gas prices once it's revised from 1st October onwards, from 5.16 to maybe even below $4.1 to $4.2 per mmbtu. And guess what? Even at that price, India is going to have one of the cheaper gas prices, and that's because the formula that was approved by this government last year gives a very high weightage to the gas consumption, gas production, and gas price in the United States. You have the highest consumption of gas in the U.S., but it's also the cheapest gas in the world. Currently, prices hovering around $2.50. So when you even look at that price of $4.1 to $4.2, it's going to be cheaper than what you get in Europe, which is around $6.50 to $7. In China, there you get prices at $5.6 to $8. Look at LNG prices, that hovers anywhere between $8 to $11 per MMBTU. So now what I understand from my sources is that there is certain officers and I like to caveat this is all at a very early stage and an exploratory stage, that there are certain officers in the oil ministry that believe that perhaps there is a need for this government to revise the formula that had been approved by the cabinet last year, and that's because the high weightage that is being provided to the U.S. U.S. gas price, like I said, the cheapest in the world. It is also an oversupplied market. It's a huge consumer of gas, and its transportation is also quite cheap. Whereas in India, you need to produce more gas, and the incentive to do so, to incentivize investments, to incentivize more E&P activity is really not going to happen unless you have gas prices which are at least similar in nature to the rest of Asia, Europe, and the rest of the world. So that's part one of the story. The second part of the story, what I understand from my sources is, so the government had promised it was going to come out with a premium gas pricing soon after it approved last year's formula. We haven't seen that take place. What I understand now from my sources is it could come any day, maybe next week. This premium gas pricing is for difficult gas fields, which the finance minister had explained as, which could be in deep water, ultra deep water, high pressure, high temperature, high pressure. So it costs a lot more to produce gas from such fields, and therefore the thinking was to give a premium for that. So that could come in next week, but it's going to be only for new discoveries. So perhaps that would be a setback for the current oil and gas producers who had perhaps been thinking that whatever they've already discovered and exploring would get a new gas price, but that is not going to be the case. However, if we do see a revision for the normal oil and gas fields, that could be a booster shot. I would like to caveat that Reliance Industries, of course, one of the gas producers in the country and the owner of Network 18 and CNBC-TV18 this channel.
All right, Nayantara, thanks a lot for that. Yes, that standard disclaimer applies, and that will flash on your screen. But let's move on and talk about our closing bell money control